Hello lovelies, welcome to Lanmou. This is a general reading for the collective for Tuesday, May the 28th, 2019. I'll be using the Work Your Light Oracle deck and After Tarot. Spirit, what message do you have for the collective for this Tuesday? What message do you have for the collective for this Tuesday? What message do you have for the collective? Okay. Message do you have for the collective for this Tuesday? And I reshuffled this card, so there's a lot of shuffling happening still again on camera. And at the bottom we have align your life. What is not aligned or needs to be changed? Align your life. That's what's at the bottom of the deck for you guys. Oh, two cards came out. The Age of Light. You've been training for this for lifetimes. You've been training for this for lifetimes. And the Great Gathering is all coming together. Intuitive hits. Soul Tribe. Soul Tribe. So it feels almost as if Spirit is calling you home, right? There's a mission you're supposed to be acting on, and they're asking you basically to fall in line. The bottom of the deck asks you to align your life to your greater purpose, align your life to that soul mission, because you've been in training for this, and your soul tribe is calling you to the Great Gathering here. Okay, and there's work to be done. There's work to be done, and the first step really is to know yourself, to align yourself to that purpose, to that higher purpose. That is just so beautiful. Let's see what the tarot has to tell us. This is the After Tarot deck. Spirit, what message, what additional message do we have for the collective? She wants to come out. The Hierophant, again, the Hierophant deals with higher level of commitment, okay? Always higher level of commitment. Whether it's marriage, the church, the institutions, university, higher education, it's really going to that one step higher, like a true commitment, legality, right? Contracts. This is the Hierophant here for you. It's also known as the High Priest, right? The church, the Pope. So you being called to that higher purpose. This is that right at a higher level of commitment. Whatever it is that you're doing, you need to align yourself to that, to the highest part of it, to your higher self. It has to be in alignment with your higher self, but also to know that that's something you've been in training in forever, right? That's what that says. The Age of Light. You've been training for this for a lifetime. For lifetimes, meaning previous lifetime. All of those lessons that you've learned, all these experiences are coming together to really get you to that higher level. Oh, here we go. And yes, this is deeply spiritual, and that's why we have the great the Great Gathering here. And look at this. We have the Star. We have, it's all major arcana, okay, for this reading. We have the Hierophant, the Star, the High Priestess, and the Magician. This is the High Priest. This is just like so much. This is so strong for this Tuesday here. I don't know what's going on in the stars. I haven't been paying attention to the astrology part of this, but I can guarantee you it's in alignment as well, because this is like major arcana. These are energies, like these are things that are outside of our control. Okay, this is something that's deeply spiritual happening here. The Star is a deeply spiritual card, like, right? Wish upon a star, right? That may come true. It's also an alchemical card. She's pouring the jug of water, one on her, one on the grass. Okay, it's almost like a baptism, like a self-baptism, cleansing herself of any negativity while being in the pool. Her own body is creating a cascade, right, to the flow of water. It's kind of like creating a cascade of like a circle representing all the different lifetimes, all the different cycles you've gone through. And there's a cleansing happening in the now, at the same time nourishing the earth, right? This is like the spiritual cleansing representing by the water, but she's also pouring the water in the earth, the actual 3D world. So she's cleansing herself spiritually and also physically. And and the bird is flying over, and we have that one major star We have like 7 stars here. I'm sorry, we have 8 stars here. And we have one big star, though we have 7 surrounded by that one big star, which is that your star. This is you representing your star, your north star that you need to follow, your north, your true north that you're supposed to follow, right? That's your guide there, with that bird as a messenger coming. There's such a sense of healing here, of replenishing yourself and the earth, right? As you, before you step into the higher level of commitment, you're being called you on to act on. So we have the high priestess, again, deeply spiritual. And I like that high priestess card here, the book. She doesn't just have the scroll in her hand, she has 2 keys. 2 keys. And they have the 2 portals behind her. So it's as if, which portal do you want to go through? And that's the key you will get. And it's such a deeply spiritual card. The moon is at her, basically at her feet, right? The moon is is almost like anchoring in the drapery of her robe, of her dress there. It's like she is the moon. She is part of the moon. She has like she carries the moon at her feet. And we know the moon is deep intuition. It's not just about that, being in the shadow, but the high priestess itself is that inner knowing. It's that deep knowing. It's that mystical knowing that you just have in you, innately in you. That's not so much learned as a Hierophant is. The high priestess is just pure intuition, right? Inner guidance. And she has that secret book, and she holds the key to let you go to the gate. And what's at the bottom of the gate, the deck, we have I almost say the get to say to the gate. So, and again, this is almost like a gate opener. We have the magician here, and the magician is using all the elements, the earth, the earth, water, fire, air, right, to achieve those goals, as above, so below, pointing to the ground, as raising that lamp, that candle, all the way up to the sky, right? So it's a sense of, just like she is pouring the water on her as pouring it in on earth. There's a real sense here of like just like this oracle card saying the great gathering. There is a real sense here that there is a great gathering, and the great gathering is happening on a personal level, within each of us, as we're gathering our strength, our knowing, our knowledge, right, our intuition, and healing ourselves before we can get to that, we can step onto that journey, before we can grab that torch, before we can pick that key and say, yes, this is my path, I'm going to that portal, right? Before we can manifest this new this new beginning, if you will, this new life, this great mission that we're being called on. And this is just so powerful here, okay? This is like all major arcana, and spirit is really asking you and letting you know that you have all the power to do this, because you've been training for lifetimes. You have the deep intuition, you have the mystical part of it like in the bag already. You can self-heal. The star is also not just a card of wish fulfillment, but it's a card of healing, of protection, right? Divine protection. Also, it's the star. And here we have the magician, also being able to create, to manifest, right? Right here on earth, to manifest something of also that's perhaps is a higher ideal. Okay, it's the Hierophant. I'm distracted. The Hierophant is also a card of action, right? It's the one. It's a card of like, when we say the Ace of Wands, we think of like a spark, the spark of life, right? Activation. That's what it is. It's the card of doing. I'm gonna use everything, all the resources at my disposal to make this happen. And we have a dove here on that table. That's also a sign of peace, right? It's doing it in a way that that is intrinsically in alignment with all that's around you, that surround you. And I didn't even notice before that infinity symbol on top over the head of the Hierophant. It's to let you know this is a never-ending cycle. just like this card says, you've been training for these lifetimes after lifetimes. You've been using those tools lifetimes after lifetimes. You've been trained to use those tools to lifetimes after lifetimes, and deeply intuitively you know it, you remember those lessons from lifetimes, okay? And following this path, stepping on this path is what really is going to bring you to to your life purpose, to your life purpose here. And the thing is, there's a sense of here that you are being guided along. If you're not sure, you're watching this reading, you're like, what is this about? You are being guided along, because what we have is it's all coming together. Intuitive hits, soul tribe in that great gathering card. Intuitive hits. This is how your angel, the spirit guides. This is how they're going to communicate to you. They're going to guide you on this path, okay? Like you will know what's the next step intuitively through those intuitive hits, okay, by the high priestess, because the star is also a card of hope, but also a kind of guidance, divine guidance, okay? And this is just so beautiful here. I feel like almost we don't have a choice. For those of us this reading resonates, for those of us that are in this journey, and when I started this channel, I felt like I was really being pushed towards a spiritual message more so than the love message, even though my own awakening started from a love issue, right? A romantic issue. I thought that's what it would be, but no, it's been all along. There's a spiritual messages a lot stronger, okay, that come through that I channeled. And here I feel again, it's spirit calling us, letting us know it is time. It is time to join the tribe, to rejoin the tribe, okay? It's time to align our life to that higher purpose. It is time to pick on that torch. It is time to start practicing what we've been in training for lifetimes. And I truly do hope this reading resonate with you on this Tuesday, and you can meditate on this energy, and please pay attention to your dreams, to those thoughts, because really this is how this message is, those intuitive hits, this is how we will receive them. And I thank you and I appreciate you. Come back again for the next set of reading. I hope you enjoy your long holiday weekend for those of you in the States. And remember, love is the only answer. Bye.